Yeah, it was themed like that.
What is good, people? It is the KOA King of Anime podcast. Myself, Sasuke the Savage. He, everything animated. What is good with you folks tonight?
Hello, everybody. I know what you're thinking, and don't adjust your dials. We understand it's a Monday, and we normally do this on a Thursday. And then a long time ago, we did this on a Monday. It's all confusing, but basically what we're doing today is what we would have done last Thursday, every episode. Even if there's like some that are already out, which we know that there are, just kind of like look at this as previous episode that came out on Thursday going out today, and then this coming Thursday will be caught back up to speed. So
this is the make up podcast essentially. So yeah. We will not be talking about the latest episodes of everything, with the exception of, because I think everything has a new episode, with the exception of Dandadan. So
yeah, it comes out Thursday.
Yeah, so we're talking about episode 3 of My Dress Up Darling, episode 13 of Sakamoto Days, episode 4 Dandadan, episode 3 Hikaru Hana, and episode 2 of Tougen Anki, and episode 3 of The Summer Hikaru Died.
A lot of Killer Pass ones today.
Yes, we have 3 Killer Passes, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see if some survive through the night or the summer. What's good, Trayvon? What's good with you?
Hello,
buddy?
Trayvon. Hello. Well, it's been a while. I know we didn't do it this past Thursday, but basically that was because I was on vacation. I was over in San Diego doing San Diego Comic-Con. Great stuff. Got some art. I'll just show the one thing that's in front of me right now. Nice little t-shirt for Predator, which Love it. Oh, and I guess this too, really quick. Ellie and his new manga, and he's got the Baka Fantasy and the Street Hawk. Yep, exactly. I got that from him, and that he was selling that over there on site. But yeah, that's some good stuff that I got over there. It was super fun. Got a little burnt on my neck over here.
Curse mark of death.
The curse mark of death. So yeah, are we ready to talk about some news?
Ready as we ever be. Let's
let's give you something that'll never give you the blues. Now let's get ready for the KOA.
It's Miracle!
So a bunch of stuff happened literally while I was out. So this may be kind of like a speed recap of everything. The Demon Slayer movie is just getting hyped to absolute hell. It is going to be one of the first animes to be released in IMAX. And it's going to be in IMAX here in the States come September 12th. Going to be absolutely insane. And are you going to be watching this in the theaters?
Probably not theaters.
No.
Nah, because I usually don't go to the theaters as soon as something comes out. I should more. It usually was a like crowd thing for me, where I'm like, damn, I do not want to be in a super packed theater.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's I can go to earlier times, you know. Especially
sure.
and I can do some things on the weekdays, which you know most people are going to go on the weekend. So, but I can't see myself doing Demon Slayer in the theaters. It depends, like whenever it's supposed to be on streaming services. We'll see.
Yes, we will have to wait and see for that indeed. Which, by the way, that movie is breaking all kinds of records in Japan. I don't know. Well, do I have the numbers here in front of me? Okay, yeah, I think it's become the fastest to cross 10 billion yen in just 8 fucking days in Japan, which is absolutely insane. They broke 3 records in Japan. I love how it doesn't tell me what those 3 records are, but they broke them. They're going absolutely insane right now. Oh, and one big one that I thought was very interesting. Infinity Castle movie. If anyone has the nutsack to leak this movie, they're facing 10 years in prison, according to the creators of this movie.
Somebody's going to do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're going to be like, I dare ya. And then they're going to be offed like that Grand Theft Auto 6 guy who we never saw again.
It's going to be on Pornhub or I guess a different porn, because Pornhub is banned for some people now.
For sure. So, yeah, just kind of like that stuff going on. There was a huge showing at San Diego Comic-Con for the new Demon Slayer movie. They had it in Hall H, which is the first time ever an anime's even been in Hall H. Hall H is the big one that they reveal like Marvel and DC movies in every year when it comes to San Diego Comic-Con, where they have celebrities and whatnot. So it was kind of cool just to see that. I didn't get a chance to see it because the lines were ridiculous. But they showed a scene from the movie itself, getting people more hyped. And they had, you know, I'm so bad at this, but the singer who sang the original opening to Demon Slayer actually opened it up.
Oh, nice.
You know, from Japan. So I thought that was cool. That was what happened anime-wise. Here's some things that aren't so anime related. The legend Ozzy Osbourne passed away at the age of 76.
Yes.
That was like almost a week ago. If anyone's a big fan of rock and roll or metal like I am, you couldn't go your whole life without even knowing who Ozzy Osbourne is. That's exactly.
Even someone like me, he's one of those ones that kind of transcends the genre. You know, just being like a pop culture icon.
Absolutely. And it's just so insane because this man had like a farewell tour with Black Sabbath, his original band. Then just, I don't know, it's almost as if he felt like he was just at peace at that point and just passed away, which is insane to think because man had a lot of, he did a lot of drugs when he was younger and just all kinds of crazy stuff. Let's see here. Trayvon said, The Boy and the Heron was in IMAX, Miyazaki's newest film that came out a year or two ago. Okay, well then it's a big old fat on lie. It is going to be showing in IMAX though. The Demon Slayer movie got leaked in English subs. Okay, that person's going to die. Bootleg quality though. Yeah, they're getting got. So nice to know you, whoever posted that. 10 years down the drain. And of course,
Worth it.
That's what the guy's saying. It was worth it. I got the puss. And then not that long ago as well, regardless of how you feel about the person, also a legend, the wrestling business, Hulk Hogan passed away as well. I mean, maybe not as beloved as Ozzy Osbourne because Ozzy just seemed like a genuinely nice person, while Hulk Hogan, you could pass it off and say that he was a racist and a piece of shit and also a scoundrel because when Jesse the Body Ventura wanted to get unions in wrestling, who was the first one to snitch? That's right, Hulk Hogan. He snitched to Vince. Kind of not a good thing. But I will, like I said, Hogan is basically a legend and an icon when it comes to wrestling. So, rest in peace. In that regards, anyway.
Yeah, one of the bigger faces that you remember in wrestling in general. Like I think the first wrestlers that come to my mind when I just think about anything wrestling related, it doesn't even have to be WWE. You think of Hulk Hogan, you think of The Rock, you think of Stone Cold, Steve Austin,
absolutely,
Undertaker. Like he's just one of those. Ric Flair. He's just one of those people that are like could be on the Mount Rushmore as far as like historical relevance. So
yeah, real sad. And then I feel like there was a third one who passed away. I forget their name. I think they were on the Cosby Show.
Yes. Oh, I don't remember his name on the Cosby Show, but yeah, that was really tragic because he ended up
because of how he died.
Yeah,
it was insane. He was on vacation going for a swim and he drowned.
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
Because I didn't watch the Cosby Show, but if I could find his name, was it Theodore?
That sounds right. Like Theodore Hustable.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like I didn't really watch that show either. That was the 80s and I was kind of like not really born yet. I was born in the late 80s, but he did some voices in some cartoons. Like he was on the Magic School Bus and I was like, I remember that guy. Remember him on the Magic School Bus. And then he did a couple of other things here and there. So sad, really sad. But yeah, that's something that I said will never give you the blues, but now we're all depressed. Malcolm Jamar Warner. Yes, that's the actor's name. Thank you, Trayvon. So now that we're good and depressed, shall we get into some good stuff? The stuff that makes us just happy?
Yeah, I think this should be a little more uplifting, if anything. So our first show of tonight is none other than My Dress Up Darling, which this is our killer pass week for this show. My Dress Up Darling Season 2, Episode 3. We continue off with Amane the cross dressing cosplayer, and we get a very interesting and kind of emotional episode with this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, at the very beginning though, we get places where they actually build some boobs.
Mhm.
And Amani's just like, here, let me show you how this works. Puts a pair of boobs on Gojo. And then Gojo is getting felt up by
Yeah, sexually harassed.
Marin. And I love it too because he just bent over and was like grabbing himself, like, no, please stop it. And he's just like, why am I doing this? I don't know why I'm doing this. It's not even mine.
Yeah, but it was a whole bunch of just information dumping as far as because Gojo was very curious about how Amane applied his makeup to make him look girly, and because it was a different thing for him because he's applied makeup as far as making someone look more manly, because that he did that with what was her name?
What's her name?
Shinju. Yeah, Shinju. So he's done that before, but he's never looked at it in a different way. So in a reverse. So he was absorbing a whole bunch of information, getting invested in it. You know how Gojo is, like when he's really in tune to something, he just dives completely into it and kind of tunes out the rest of the world. So he was getting really invested in it, which was cool. And
he was real hyper focused.
Yeah. And Amane just got to, show his stuff as far as his knowledge and, teaching them tricks for this thing and that thing. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I just love how in some parts he's like, yeah, I gotta do this to kind of like seal up my 5 o'clock shadow. And both Marin and Gojo were like, oh, right, because you're a guy. I forget because I'm talking to you and I see a girl, but you're actually a guy.
Yeah.
It's blowing my mind.
Yeah. And then more towards the middle of the episode, we get to see a little insecurity within Amane in that two girls want to take a picture with him. And not the first thing he does, but one of the first things he informs them of is that he's a guy. And they are actually just in love with that idea. Like they start to go crazy. I think one of them said, oh my God, I stan you, or something like that.
Yeah. She did say that, and he was very taken aback. He's just like, okay, you want a picture with me? Sure.
Mm.
But we find out why he essentially said that later on, because it is because of the insecurities and because of a very tragic thing that happened to him, like I guess with his ex relationship, because this was something that it kind of mirrors Gojo in a way where he has his things, and he had somebody say that oh, you're a guy, you don't play with dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing happened in Amane's situation, which interesting story that one was. But they take all the photos, doing all the stances. It was basically a montage, but it was a montage with photos.
Yeah.
It wasn't a traditional anime montage where it looks like still frames. It was actual photos. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, that's kind of a clever way to go about doing it that way.
So I wanted to say this about this episode, and I want people to stay with me because it's going to sound not so good. It's going to sound negative, but it's going to go to a positive place. So one thing that we praise about this show is how lighthearted it is and generally how positive it is. I want to say with everything that happened in this episode, I feel a lot of the interactions and kind of the conclusions of some of the where the characters go is unrealistic. Like, for example, with what's going on with Amane and him talking to the two cosplay girls, it kind of gets unrealistic to the point where it's like, all right, I don't think they would act like this, finding out he's a guy. I can understand them just being accepting of it and whatnot, but I don't know if they would go like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. I think there's a time to be unrealistic, and because I think this show, what it tries to do is it doesn't try to give you I guess like an honest depiction of how society really is, because we know society in general, society wouldn't be accepting of a person like Amane, but I think it's good to have some of these idealistic ideas and themes within a series like this, because it gives people who may be going through this and may be feeling down on themselves something to look forward to or something to strive for, thinking that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes I think having a realistic perspective can, I don't know, it can be to the detriment of what you're trying to do for the show. Because I think this show wants to create a positive, lighthearted, and general good feeling for people who have hobbies, because it goes beyond the cosplay thing. People who have hobbies that they think will not be accepted by society. So again, while I think a lot of these things that happen in the show are not realistic, I can't see a lot of these interactions happen in real life. Even they do help themselves by putting it in a bubble of like cons, because I think in cons you're getting a lot more accepting people. People understand what they're going to get when they go there. But no, I still think it's a good idea what they're doing, because like I said, I think this is to influence people in a positive way.
Yeah, it's I agree with you in that sentiment as well. Like in a con, I feel like a lot of people would be more accepting. It's like you're there for fandom. It's geekdom. You know, nobody cares how you dress. Guys can be girls, girls can be guys. It doesn't matter. I definitely agree with you as well when it comes to like, you know, that lady when basically his ex, whenever he found out, when she found out that he would dress up as girls. Oh my God, guy, girl, blah blah blah, and the way that she reacted is probably genuinely how somebody who doesn't understand or somebody would kind of react. I mean, not to say everybody would, but it's definitely one of those things where, because at first she thought, what are all these women's clothes?
Yeah.
You cheating on me? Who are you sleeping with? Who is this? And then he basically said, I'm not cheating on you. Those are mine. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. that made things kind of worse. It seemed.
Yeah. I'm sorry. These are yours? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's what kind of like led the whole. It just kind of like went off the tracks there. It's like, I want you to get rid of all these. And it's like, yeah, okay, just for you. I'll get rid of all these, you crazy. But then Amane was just like, so I dumped her ass.
Yeah. and that's what I mean. I think that the conclusion to that story was a good one, because what is being conveyed to the audience, the people watching, is that you shouldn't have to stifle your personality to be in the acceptance of even someone that, you know, is a significant other for you. You know, if anything, you should be more of yourself around somebody like that. You shouldn't be afraid of who you actually are. And,
Absolutely.
you know, he wasn't willing to compromise himself because he was in a very positive life because of being able to cross-dress and cosplay, because he felt he could be someone else, and that's what gave him confidence. Because when he was, you know, because he just looks girly naturally, so he of course was teased for that, made fun of, called weak and whatnot. So society kind of suppressed him, and cosplay allowed him to be who he wanted to be. And again, he didn't want to shed that part of himself because of new girlfriend. So good on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Did he say that the reason why he even dressed up or did the things that he did was because of his older sister?
Yeah.
His older sister was like, "You look so cute. Let's dress you up."
Yep. And then it just awakened the cosplay demon within him.
And the other crazy thing that was said in that whole flashback, the parents were supportive of it.
Yeah.
What?
And that's what I mean. I feel in most households that wouldn't just happen. But I'm okay with it happening because I think you do need shows like this. I think you don't need every show to show you the horrors of reality and that you will never be loved.
Just like a girl.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah.
You don't need drama in that sense every time. Sometimes you need idealistic stories because if you think people's mind can't be changed, people will always be closed mind, and nobody will ever accept you, you'll be in a dark place. So I think this show tries to make light of situations and just tries to be positive.
Yeah. And that's not to say that there aren't people that are open to this sorts of thing because, with every generation, you're going to get people that will be more and more accepting of just unique things or what was unique back then, but is now just commonplace now. So that could very well be one of those things, My son wants to all of a sudden dress up like a girl, I'd be like, you know what? If that's what you want to do, good on you.
Yeah.
That's totally fine with me. But yeah, I agree. How many times have we seen that movie or that show where it's always just oh, no daughter of mine's gonna blah, 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 and no girl's gonna yada, yada. It's just the same thing. Oh, excuse me. It's just the same thing that we see over and over and over again. But, I agree. This show is definitely one of those things where it's definitely in a more positive light. And, I think this show knows what it is. It's more lighthearted and accepting.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes you need the fairy tale depiction of things, Yeah.
Yeah, there's not everything has to be button heads or, girls don't like girls and things like that. You don't not everything has to always be that way.
Yeah. But Amane just ends up making friends with Gojo and Maureen, because Gojo, of course, is able to empathize with Amane, given what you already referenced with the whole doll thing that was going on. So he was like, I would never call your hobbies weird. I understand. And, they became friends. And it was so funny when he ended up leaving and he didn't have the makeup or anything on. He still looked like a girl to the point where Maureen was like, oh my God, hold on. He's kind of handsome. And even Gojo didn't say anything, but I think Gojo was like,
He's a very cute boy. And he was like, and he's in college, so he's older than me. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Maureen's always very sympathetic towards people. I think she understands people's feelings really well because she did that in the last season with Gojo, where Gojo was rushing to make that outfit and everything. And she felt so bad thinking that it was because he was going to go see his grandpa or whatever. But it was like, no, he was just stressing because of the outfit. And she broke down and cried. And she did the exact same thing here. It's like she really gets herself into other people's feelings a lot.
Yeah.
And sneezes really hard or blows her nose really hard whenever she's done.
Yeah. But besides Amane thing, we see Gojo go to Maureen's model shoot, and he ends up talking to one of, I'm just saying, Maureen's co-workers. I don't exactly know what
Probably
she
like a
does.
production assistant, if anything.
Yeah, but yeah, she was chatting up with Gojo, and she just keeps assuming that Maureen and Gojo are boyfriend girlfriend because, I mean, everybody assumes that.
I mean, come on.
And he's like, no, I'm not her boyfriend. Our relationship is based on money. And she went.
What does that mean?
She's like, wait, what the fuck?
I love that. Like, okay. What the fuck does that mean? What are you based on money? Are you her pimp or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
But
and then like later on, she was just like, "Why would he word it that way?" I think that they're just going steady. I think he's just being weird.
Yeah. But I guess like the whole point of the whole model thing was to show Gojo a different side of Maureen, who was a lot more serious, and because Maureen's typically bubbly and kind of crass in a way, like she's very impulsive. But when he sees her at the model shoot, at the model shoot, she's very focused and she'll do exactly what she needs to for the shoot. She becomes less of Maureen and more the model. It's like this persona that she taps into. So he saw that different side of her and he was kind of amazed. But then he sees her later be herself because they celebrate a fucking anime character's birthday.
And mind you, she was dry humping that pillow around her bed, saying that she loves the fact that she was created, and just starts dry humping the pillow. And I don't know about y'all. I know this is supposed to be lighthearted and like innocent or whatever. If this was a first date, those are red flags.
She might be a sexual deviant.
That is a red flag. If anyone does it, I don't care if she's barren. That's a red flag thing right there, where she's grinding into this freaking pillow and saying that she loves the fact that this thing was created. I'm like slowly backing away.
She has a body pillow. She had these masks that she wore and made Gojo wear. She had like this figurine shrine. She had a wallpaper. She had the cake. Everything for Shizuku. So yeah, no, I definitely feel you on that. I feel like the only way she gets away with that is because she's Maureen.
Yeah, because I'll tell you this right now. Let the roles be reversed and let a guy do that with a girl, and then like be obsessed with a girl or guy pillow. Doesn't even matter what the pillow is. The girl would look at the guy and they would just be like, look at the time. I gotta get going. I hear my mom calling me. God, bye.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just saw that scene and I was just like, that's not at all red flaggish or anything. That's a little weird.
Yeah. I do like the fact that they always reinforce that Maureen is like, as much as they kind of portray her as the popular girl everybody likes, they also show you that she's really just a weird person.
Yeah, and I like that too, because it's not like she hides it either. It's not one of these animes or shows where, because we've seen those shows where they're the prim and proper yada yada, and then they are secretly a rock star or a weeb or something, and it's just like, we've seen that song and dance so many times, but in this show, she's popular and people know that she's weird. It just goes hand in hand.
Yeah. But I think that's everything that I had to say about this episode. Pretty simple.
Yeah. Pretty simple. This is a Killer Pass episode. I don't know about you, Sasuke. I've had it up to here. I saw those red flags. I think they didn't have to end it that way. No. Also, guys don't dress up like girls.
Yeah. This is the king of bigots. We don't like that around here.
King of bigots. We are the cob. But no. In all seriousness, this is a great series. I'm enjoying it like I did first season, and like I said, they're doing even better with the second season. Real quick, did you catch that Looney Tunes sound effect when Maureen like did something and she was and like was running towards Gojo and everything? I went,
I don't think so.
okay, I see what you. If I find it later, I'll show you. But it was, I don't know, she was like running towards Gojo or running towards somebody, and like I remember it was the whoop, 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 sound effect. I went, that's Looney Tunes. So I'm passing it.
I think I would do the same. Trayvon said I love weird characters. Shout out to Moko from Watamote. Yeah, I especially like it too. I like that with a character like Maureen, I feel you get more personality type. I feel like sometimes, a lot of the times, especially with women in anime, they're always portrayed a certain type of way, where they're pigeonholed into a certain like personality or archetype.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel
Absolutely.
Maureen breaks a mold. You're seeing more characters like Maureen now, and I'm not saying she started like she's the progenitor or anything, but I feel like she's not someone that you typically see from the point where, you know, My Dress Up Darling was a thing. And a character like Tomoko too, also another character you really don't see in a lot of anime because they generally don't have pervert female characters. That's usually a character archetype that's reserved for the dudes. So I do like the diversity as far as personalities, especially with women in anime, because again, I feel they get shoved into one archetype and it's like, all right, you're the cool popular girl that doesn't talk.
Yeah, you're Komi-san.
Yeah.
Which, okay, I found the scene. It's where her thing comes off on her face.
Oh.
And then she runs to Gojo and saying that it broke. And then, yeah, you hear the Scooby-Doo as she's running across. And I'm just like, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at it.
All right, let's put it on the pass screen and hey.
You pass this time.
All right. So, first pass, 2 more to go. The next show we will be talking about is none other than Sakamoto Days, episode 13. I actually watched this episode last week. So I did not watch it again. I didn't rewatch it. So I feel like I should have remembered everything that happened, but I may be a little rusty.
That's all right. I'll start it off. So, the fight between Shin and Saw and on a cliffhanger. Ooh, Shin is a badass now. They're fighting some more. Shin is laying in heavily on him. Then all of a sudden, oops, I overdid it. And he passes out because he doesn't have control over it yet.
Well, they do go to explain what he did last episode because he had like this
before that. Yes.
Yeah, because he what he basically does, because he you know can read the thoughts in your head. So what he does is basically read because your subconscious, because basically your brain knows what you're going to do before you can think it. So he's reading the subconscious movements of Saw to be able to predict where he's going to move exactly. And it seems like he can't do that consistently or for a long time, so he ends up being out of commission, but that's what he did.
Yeah. Yep. And I almost thought we got a brand new character, but we got a drunk Lou.
Super drunk Lou.
This is her Super Saiyan power. I mean, before, and I'm gonna, even though I don't know much about it, I'm sure it's gonna talk more about it later. But I'm assuming, depending on what she drinks and what gets her drunk, is what makes her become that certain power, that certain drunk form, I guess. Because this isn't the first time we got the drunk version of her. Because we've had the drunken fighting style where she's goofy and silly and just kind of playful. This is the first time we got it to where her voice actually changed because of how drunk she got. She drank straight up ethyl.
Yes.
Ethanol.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. If anybody drinks that and survives, let me know. Because I'm pretty sure she should be dead.
Don't make that a challenge, by the way.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's a joke. I'm not being serious. This is an anime. But Jesus Christ, she should be dead. But yeah, and then I was like, has her hair always been that long? But then I remembered, because I saw her hair was all braided up and long. I'm like, okay, so her hair is actually that long. So when you get drunk, according to Lou, your hair just magically unravels, and then you just become this crazy, almost mafioso type character where she's just like, I'm gonna make you an offer and just break your fucking fingers.
I do like that though, because she's actually the daughter of Triad, so it's kind of like she became exactly what the family business is all about, and she absolutely destroyed Saw. That's one of my favorite scenes in the manga is this transformation that we get from Lou, because she is ruthless.
Yeah, she just straight up just didn't give a fuck. Because Saw was throwing the axe thing, and she was kind of like catching it around her fists and then throwing kicks and haymakers. Saw was on the ropes at one point running away, and Lou's just like, get back here, motherfucker, throwing some stuff at him.
She turned into a slasher villain. I know what you did last summer.
Seriously, just like, come out and play. I know where you are. But yeah, Saw just kind of, seeing that he's about to die, because he even got stabbed in the arm with a fucking, like a plant trough or whatever you want to call it. And, he's just like, this ain't how I'm going to die. I'm out of here, and just books it on out. While he's dripping with blood and everything. And, this Lou and Shin are just passed out in the middle of the floor. That's because, Shin gave a last-ditch effort, took a ladder and smashed it across Saw. And yeah, that wasn't enough to take him out, but still kind of like incapacitated him for a bit.
Yeah. And after he escapes into he gets into a taxi. He's threatening the driver and whatnot, and there's somebody behind him, and he's like, yo, shut the fuck up, I need to go to the airport now. And he gets his head cracked by good old Hyo from the order.
Just straight up splattered his brains all across just everything. I feel bad for that driver. The driver's just like, well, I have someone in the back. Gets a blood mark across his window. Fine, get your ass in here. Then there's just straight up blood all up inside his car.
I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like the driver is a part of the assassination group, because
okay.
It feels like they laid a trap out for him, because that was a little too convenient for Hyo just to be in a back when he comes in there.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that, but you're right. He was one of the floaters, which we find out in this episode. Floaters are basically cleanup crews for assassins. They're the lowest of the low on the totem pole, and they're just like, clean up goddamn mess.
Yeah, and it's there to give us an explanation for how they can cause so much havoc around these areas, and for there not to be like some type of police intervention, because they're the ones that restore everything exactly as they were, so nobody will trip or nobody will be looking for these guys. Not that it would really matter, but it's a good cover up for any future questions or complaints we would have.
I mean, you would have to be an incredible carpenter to work in that sort of field because, yeah, they clean it up and yeah, they sweep up. I'm sure there's some places where there's like impact craters all over the walls and stuff that gets laid out. You'd have to come in, all right, bring some wood, bring some drywall. We're going to restore this whole thing.
They probably do that with all like the superhuman abilities people have in this show. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. But you could tell that there was like some floaters that they hate their job. They're like, and that's what Lou or Shin or whoever said was just like, yeah, they do this as a part-time thing. And some of them are just like cussing up and down like, son of a bitch, I have to clean up after this goddamn fucking thing.
Yeah, it definitely portrays them as being the interns, you know. They want to have a full-time job, but they got to go through, you know, the trials and tribulations first before they can get to where they really want to get.
They got to pay their dues, so to speak.
Yeah. And then we get to another section of the episode, which is basically just Osaragi. At first we see Osaragi and Sho eating at a restaurant, goofing off. And Osaragi's just eager to kill these people because, you know, they're tasked with killing the escapees. And she wants to find them so bad she just prays for it. Literally prays for it. Goes to the shrine, prays for it, and she gets an instant answer to her prayer because Dump shows up and you know, spikes her a couple times.
Yeah. It's crazy how they give Dump a backstory, but Saw, I don't even think got one, and then his head gets popped like a zit.
Yeah.
But Dump gets one because, you know, all she ever wanted to do was love somebody. It's all she ever wanted.
I don't even know what to make out of her backstory because it's just like, it's her falling in love with someone, apparently, and she ends up loving them too hard to the point where she kills them. And then the conclusion she comes to is that she only likes people before the end of their life or something. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. It kind of really doesn't make much sense. I mean, if anything, it should be kind of like a tragic backstory, but, you know, this turns her into a villain that likes to kill people as opposed to someone that just wants to be loved. I don't know. All I know is she had a pile of bodies and she was naked on top of them at the very end.
As we do. As we do.
As one would do if they have a twisted love backstory.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But I thought, you know, they end up fighting. I'm gonna be honest, the fight it looked decent. It definitely could have looked better.
It's fine.
Yeah, it was cool enough. But they get to one point of the fight because Osaragi, for a majority of the fight, doesn't have her weapon. She doesn't have
Heavy
her
weapon.
Yeah, she doesn't have her saw. She and we get to see her just be very savvy as far as the fight because, again, she doesn't have her weapon, but she's still moving around, still able to, you know, avoid death and whatnot. But she gets that weapon, and at that point it's time to get serious. But before she ends up killing Dump, Osaragi actually thanks her for her. Yeah, I love you for giving me purpose in my life. Because Osaragi's, I actually, okay, this is kind of, I think this is why they had Dump have that backstory and whatnot, because Osaragi is very appreciative of someone like Dump because she gives her purpose in her life. And it's almost like she has the same twisted love, because Osaragi believes that even though being an assassin isn't necessarily a noble job. She feels as if it is their duty to get rid of the trash in society. So she feels like she's doing the right thing, but with the wrong methods. So it kind of parallels with each other in that she shows appreciation for someone who is as deplorable as Dump, because at the end of the day, it lets her feel better. So I could see where they're kind of going for with the whole Dump thing, but as an individual, Dump is just like, and that's kind of what you get from majority of these escapees. They're just like, they're more there to show off the order and how cool they are.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very one note. They're definitely that. I want to give you a perfect ending. I love you. I hate myself. Which is a part where he just hates it. He said that. He's like, I hate myself. I want to die, but I'm going to see what's on your insides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minimalist.
Yeah. And then minimalist, I like crushing things. It's literally what these characters are. Very one note. And yeah. Yeah. I did like Osaragi when she was kind of like comparing her to an echidna.
Oh yeah, because
when they were fighting,
spikes. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like in her mind, she just had a little thought bubble. She's like, echidna.
Yeah, Osaragi,
porcupine hedgehog.
Osaragi's really childish. So when she saw Sakamoto, she thought of him as like a big teddy bear or something.
That's right. She did do that.
Yeah.
The teddy bear, echidna. I wonder what she would think all the other people would be like if she met Shin and Lou. I wonder.
Yeah.
Probably like a puppy or something. And then Lou would be a cat.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah. But yeah, because they both love those type of animals.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought of that. Yeah, so they fight. They do their thing. Woo. Kind of over before it begins. One of the cool parts of the fighting is we learned how to pray to the gods in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
You bow twice.
That was actually
clap
cool.
Twice.
That was actually cool.
And then bow again. Yeah, that was. As she's beating the shit out of her, just says that. You bow twice, bam, bam. Clap twice, smashes her face. And then bow again. Boom, right through the table or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think I'll ever forget now.
You actually tried on somebody? You need to. The fuck?
Okay, listen. I learned this from a show. I know this. You got to bow twice, smash it. No, I didn't mean it. What's the hell's wrong with you? What? They told me that's what you're supposed to do when you pray.
Just praying to the gods.
Security.
But yeah, a part goes and ambushes Kashima, deer suit guy. So he's in pieces once again. It is a gag at this point. So that happens, and then we see another scene where Minimalist shows up at the Sakamoto store, supposedly about to kill Aoi. But here's the thing. And I don't know if I'm spoiling anything because I genuinely don't remember. That's probably not Aoi, just based on all of the order fighting a member of, or all of the escapees fighting a member of the order. Like all of the order are primed to take out one of these guys. Now we don't have anybody like that fighting apart yet, but given that this has already happened, I'm assuming that Aoi is just Nagumo in disguise.
I could totally see that. That didn't happen, by the way, but I could totally see that.
Oh, are you spoiling me?
You're the one that did it, sir. Yeah. I didn't say anything.
That's true. Like I said, I genuinely forgot.
No, because the way that the episode ends, he does come in, and then you see Aoi, just like so happy. It's all dark in there for some reason, which to me is a huge red flag. Where I'm like, why would the lights be off if she's in there?
You got to create the mood.
That for someone to get in, okay, but that's why I'm just like, when you said that, I'm like, yeah, that's probably right, because why would it be dark inside to begin with? So
yeah, but that was pretty much the episode. Like I said, this was more so
really quick.
Yeah, it was like a showcase of the order, and because in totality, the escapees don't have that much of a role. They're there for Sakamoto and the gang and the order to try to find out more information about Slur, because he's the ultimate villain that they all had to focus on. So they're just a bridge connecting those two entities, because he's remaining in the background being mysterious. So they're not supposed to be important in the grand scheme of things, but they're a good fodder for the order.
Yeah, we do. I think we do see Slur on the phone, at least his lips, when he's talking at one point.
Yeah,
because he's talking to Dear Man, who's ripped up into a million pieces again. Because the guy just can't help but just to come apart at the seams, so to speak. And he's just like, I'm sorry you had to hear that, master. What shall we do now? Nothing. Just let it play out. Okay.
pretty much.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the episode. Just a lot of fighting, a lot of just showcasing the order. That's all, really. Because the way that the episode season 1 ended, it made it seem like these were going to be like big time characters. But after this episode, I'm like, yeah, these characters are nothing more than just punching bags for the order.
Yeah, but it goes to show you the levels of the levels there are to the order, because the order are introduced initially as the strongest guys that we have in the series. So when you compare them to anybody else, it's pretty much a losing battle for anybody else. So like I said, showcase for them, and it also it does give you at least a good gauge of where characters who are weaker or lower on the totem pole, like Shin, because Shin's not as strong as Sakamoto, and he's definitely not as strong as anybody in the order. So this also gives them, Shin and Lua, opportunity to kind of show their stuff. So yeah, that's the role they serve.
Yep.
Trayvon said the old blind guy is my favorite character in the entire series. I mean, he does get rid of flies really good.
He is a great exterminator.
Mm.
And if you ever want your car to be a convertible, he's real cheap.
Got you. But that is it for Sakamoto Days. So we are moving on to none other than Season 2, Episode 4. Yay.
Wow. Yes, sir.
They got Evil Eye. They got him.
They did. They did. They did it in a way that I never would have seen coming. In fact, this whole episode was a lot of things I didn't see coming. Like, just, wow. This was a crazy, crazy episode. Just literally introductions of other characters. And hell, even the dumbass Shoto family got, well, I wouldn't say they got their comeuppance, but they were definitely an annoying point at one point. And I was like, please God, don't let this be the whole fucking episode. And as soon as I said that, it wasn't. And I was like, thank God, yes. But man, this was a Momo heavy episode, but just also really cool and crazy too. This is definitely in the realm of Dandadan in its style.
Yeah. So the first thing that we do is Momo figures out what this whole legend means and why the volcano erupted, and obviously she tries to stop it. So she tries to use the earthworm as a fire hose to quell the forest fires and everything else that is being affected before it spreads. And as they do, the Keto family fucks up everything, or attempts to fuck up everything, which goes to show you where their priorities lie, because they care so much about this legend and about this deity that they worship that they would sacrifice literally the entire village just because Momo is desecrating the body of their deity. Like, literally, the village is in danger of being ablaze, and they are still trying to stop Momo because they don't like the fact that she's using the body to help the village.
They're idiots. I mean, this is the same group of people that got ate by the damn earthworm, and then all of a sudden, they're just like, hey, you can't be using it like that. It doesn't work like a fire hose. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's kill this asshole.
So they become, like you said, a nuisance. But then we get BooTuber, man. He actually has a name now. Manjiro. He steps in and starts whooping their ass, actually, which
it reminds me of Rock Lee.
Because the eyebrows.
In the way that he moves too, and the moves. Yeah.
Yeah. And we also learn from him that he is a pupil of Seiko. Who
can Seiko be the worst type of person?
Seiko might be an idiot. Because I don't understand how the fuck she would even do what she did in this episode, which is, okay, I got some people that are coming over there, protect them. Yeah, what did they look? Hello? He has no description. He doesn't know a name. He doesn't know a face. He doesn't know a smell. Nothing. He doesn't know anything about the people he's supposed to protect. So he has no idea. Like, Momo just so happened to go into the shrine, so he has no idea. They are very lucky that he maybe something clicked in his head where, oh, Momo's probably, since she was interested in this snake thing, maybe she's the granddaughter of. He had to put things together because Seiko didn't do anything.
He's an idiot. I agree. I think we give Seiko too much love just because she's hot. But the fact that she's like a straight up idiot and does what she does, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like she needs to be scrutinized more.
At the very least, she did her thing in this episode, because
she did.
It becomes Royal Rumble in this motherfucker. Everybody comes out of the woodworks to fight. It's just pandemonium. We have, because at first it was Momo versus Volcano. Then it became Momo versus Volcano with handicap Keto family jumping her. And then it became Tutu, BooTuber, Momo versus Keto family of Volcano. And then Evil Eye just comes out of nowhere and just says, fuck all of y'all.
Yeah. He just came out of nowhere and was just like, you thought I was knocked out and resting? Fuck that. Now I'm just going to start fighting and using my ball to get... Which, this is probably one of the only times where I was cheering Evil Eye, because he was whooping up on the Keto's family ass, and Momo's like, no, don't hurt them. What do you mean don't hurt them? Hurt their ass.
She just didn't want Evil Eye to kill him because she didn't want Gigi, by extension, to have murdered somebody. So that's all that was. It wasn't like she cared about the Kito family. It's just that she, because if it was like a random entity that was doing this, I don't think she would have cared, honestly. But because it's Gigi's body being possessed, she's like, no, I don't want Gigi to kill the Kito family because that's still his body.
Yeah, I guess. But why is it always the worst people that are just like, no, don't kill him? Why can't it just be I don't know, like a baby? It's like, yes, obviously you wouldn't kill a baby. But the Kito family, oh no, don't kill them. While she's saying under her breath, please murder these motherfuckers. Please just do it. Snap their necks while they're not looking. Oh, okay. Wink.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that was great fight sequence because they had that. They stepped in. And then when you thought it couldn't get weirder, we get Crab Man. That came out of nowhere. And I was like, oh yeah. From the first season. I remember Crab Man. He came and he was doing his thing. And then when you thought it couldn't get any weirder,
Yeah,
we had Seiko riding on top of that art experiment body. Did it have a name?
Taro.
Riding on top of Taro while getting floated down by a fucking UFO. Yes, that actually happened in this episode.
It sounds about right.
And then Seiko came down and did her bat smoking impressions, beating up on Evil Eye.
Yeah. She was faring pretty well against Evil Eye, but the strategy was really creative and super cool to see implemented because Seiko does her thing, okay, and then Taro is just running, and we seen this whole thing where he just runs and runs and runs and runs and runs, and you're thinking, okay, it's not as if Taro's strong, so what exactly is the plan here? And you know, he runs, goes after Evil Eye, and of course Evil Eye just fucking dismantles him, and it's like, all right, okay, was that it? And then you see on one of the pieces a talisman, which then Manjiro uses this seal basically to make Taro's body converge back onto Evil Eye and essentially trap him. So that was really creative. I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty smart. And then, you know, when everything was all said and done, it was like, all done. We got him. Pose.
Which I definitely don't think this is the end of Evil Eye.
Oh, hell no. He gonna break out somehow.
Yeah.
He gonna break out, or Gigi's gonna like revert back and be his normal self, because we all know this is gonna be Gigi's new power. Everybody has a power. This is gonna be Gigi's new power. Maybe his power is a little stronger than the others, and maybe his is a little more unpredictable, and maybe needs a little more control. But
well,
yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do you think he'll have this power in the same way or I was about to call him Tanjiro, in the same way Okarun has his power? Where, what I mean by that is like Okarun, you know, he changed his personality a little, but it's still Okarun essentially. And same thing with Ira. Ira's still Ira. Do you think that Gigi will remain his personality if he's able to retain his power in some way?
I mean, he definitely wouldn't have the same personality, because Gigi's happy-go-lucky and friendly and whatnot, while Evil Eye, I mean, come on, it's in the name. It's just straight up evil and hates humanity and wants to seek revenge and whatnot. So, yeah, I cannot see the personalities coexisting, but it'll be different for sure.
Yeah, because the way I see it is, if he does retain his power, I feel it's not going to be a thing where he has the power. It's going to be one of those things to where he can switch on and off between Evil Eye, where he can I don't know, maybe Evil Eye will eventually relax, because it's very much possible given that we've seen his backstory and we know where it derives from, which is loneliness and extreme grief. I could see him changing. So I'm thinking that's why the dance traumatized him.
That's what kids do back in the day when they want to play outside. They just.
But I think it's one of those. It's going to be one of those things. I don't think it's going to work exactly like this, but think of like Yuji and Sukuna, where Yuji doesn't have Sukuna's powers. Sukuna just goes occasionally. All right, I'm taking over. I think it's going to be one of those things.
I could see that. And Sukuna taking over is not a good thing.
Nope.
In fact, it's probably a horrible thing. So, yeah. I could see that.
And thinking about that is kind of the same thing that was going on with what Momo was worried about with Gigi, because you remember in JJK, one of the things that like gave Yuji a lot of grief was when Sukuna took over briefly and fucking destroyed Shibuya, and it fucked him up because it was in his body. So I think that's one of the things Momo was trying to avoid with Gigi, was making him feel that despair for killing a human life. Because we know Kito family as terrible. Gigi still wouldn't want to kill him, because he's a good boy.
Yes. Yeah, we don't want to play the song "You Are My Special" at the end of Dandadan. Well,
why did they play that one? You had the perfect ending song.
I know. Oh, and then "You Are My Special." Ooh. It's like, really, this is not matching the mood whatsoever of him killing literally thousands of people.
Oh. Man.
We get to talk about that next season. That's gonna be fun. Or not next season, next year.
I was about to say what the fuck?
Next year.
Trayvon said, I like the relationship between Momo and Okarun. That moment toward the end, hugging was sweet, everything else just felt random to me or unnecessary. Well, we're about to get to that now, actually.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's within the realm of Dandadan. I wouldn't say it's unnecessary. Dandadan is random.
Yeah.
It's definitely that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is last season we had them butt ass naked in school after coming back from a fight.
I
yes,
felt
that actually happened.
I felt like this was one of the better action sequences. I felt the where the randomness comes in, where I felt it felt like there was so many characters coming in conveniently. It just felt a little weird. It's like, all right, he just so happens to come here, then he just so happened to come here, then Seiko just happens to come here, and then everybody converged at the right time. And I think that it definitely made it a lot more unpredictable, because when I was thinking about how they were going to beat Evil Eye, I wasn't even thinking about Seiko coming in or anybody else, because I was figuring
Same.
I didn't think they were going to get any help. I thought it was going to be Momo and Okarun and Turbo Granny and fucking even the fucking Kito family having to figure things out.
Yeah. At least that didn't happen, thank God, because you even said that they were going to have a moment where they were going to save the village, and that never happened. So I'm just like, good, they're forever pieces of shit.
Immortalized. My hatred is validated.
That's right. Which begs the question, I mean, I'll say this real quick before we get into the scene at the end, where what's going to happen with the stupid-ass Kito family? Are they going to be the same and be like, sacrifices? Or are they going to apologize for what they did? Are they going to take responsibility? Or are they just going to just up and die? Like, just have a heart attack and die right then and there?
If only. I don't know. I feel they have to learn from this, or it just doesn't make sense because they're not going to be punished. It seems, in a sense that they suffer the same fate that they inflicted on other people. Because this is basically talking points from last podcast, but it came from a quote unquote good place because they wanted to save the village by sacrificing other people. They thought that was what was necessary, but obviously they were wrong. So are they going to realize they're wrong? I felt the time to realize that was this episode, but maybe it has to sink in a little more. I'm not entirely sure, but I just feel the only way they can move forward, or the way to justify why these characters are even here, is for them to understand that what they were doing was fucked up and unnecessary. Because if they don't realize that, then it's kind of like we're just going to let these pieces of shit walk around and maybe do it again, or I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully they pay for their transgressions. What I would love to see is the whole village stomp each and every one of them out.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great, where they go, hey, there's the family that said they needed to sacrifice us this whole time to make the lava not go off. Let's get them. And then they go at them with torches and pitchforks and just stomp them out, which that to me is the best kind of ending.
That's heartwarming.
It's very heartwarming, and skull crushing. So, at the end, Sasuke, I don't know how you felt about this, but damn, Momo runs to the house and sees a giant like crater area, and there was lava there where they were supposed to be. They didn't make it. Damn it. I know. I thought the main character of this series was going to at least live. Or one of the main characters.
Okaroon!
I know. Okaroon. Who, that's not even his real name. It's the one that she loves.
Starts with a T.
Can't say the name.
Starts
with a T. And it can't say the name because she freaks out every time she hears it. But they were essentially dead. Mom was like, "No, aim the slime there. I want to take it out, please." And Crabman's like, "Bobo, there's nothing you could do. They're gone. No. And then, the alien like lifts up the little lava thing and just plants it there, and then drops the goop and whatever, hardens it, opens it up, and who's inside? Good old Okaroon and Turbo Granny, safe and sound. And Turbo Granny is pissed off because she does her so lovable catchphrase "turd nuggets" after she gets saved. So that's how you know she's all right. Anytime she says "turd nuggets," she's in a good place.
Yeah, they actually got saved from the mucus that they were trapped in, so that's what ended up insulating them from the lava, so they could survive. And then we have the whole Momo and Okaroon hug moment where Momo is crying and she's just grateful that Okaroon is alive. So it shows you the progression of their relationship, because Momo was willing to like literally dive into the lava to try to find them. And it also just shows you like that's why I titled this podcast what it is. She's a woman of her word, because she said she was going to come back for them, and she was going to follow that hella high water, like literally. So good. I think it was a very great moment, and just a good moment too in terms of the brewing, the budding romance and whatnot, because we don't get episodes every time to advance that. But I thought this was a good indicator of where we are with their relationship.
Absolutely, yeah, because Okaroon came out, tripped, stumbled, put his body onto hers and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." And then Momo didn't care and just reciprocated the hug and was just like, "I'm just glad you're okay." Yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Good job. Who animates this? Bones?
No.
I forget who's the animation studio for this. Anyway, whoever's doing it, they're doing a hell of a job. They are knocking it out of the park.
Let's see. Hold on. Who is it? Who are you people? My anime. It is Science Saru.
Oh, duh. That's what it plays at the beginning. That's right. Well, they're doing a great job, too. They are just... Yeah. This has been really, really good. Been enjoying this, and can't wait to see what happens next, because this is definitely the end of this arc. I feel like it ended on a good note.
Yeah, with this village, but still need to see what happens to the Kito family, and I guess maybe the village in totality. It's also interesting too, because this is where Gigi lives. So what exactly is going to happen with him? That's the big question mark. Exactly what happens with Evil Eye and Gigi? Because I don't think what they did in this episode solves the issue. I think it's just a band-aid.
Yeah, I think so too. Because Gigi agreed to play with the kid, and that's kind of like what got his body took. So, if anything, Gigi and the kid are just doing this the whole time in his body.
Oh man. But yeah, that is pretty much it for Dandadan. So,
Good episode.
Yeah, good episode for sure. Moving on for another Killer or Pass episode, we are talking about none other than Kaoru Hana, episode 3. Yeah.
Oh, Kaoru.
You know you see what they tried to take away from us? Our coveted sports festival. You can't have a romance anime without a sports festival. You might as well just like I don't fucking know. Like take away like 6 days. You might as well take away like goddamn fireworks festival. Like you can't do that. You can't deny us that.
You might as well take away the indirect kiss.
Yeah.
And the beach episode of smashing watermelons and all that. My God. But yes, the very first part that happened in this episode was Rintaro and his friend Usami. If you guys don't get your grades up and do great on this midterm, you're not going to the sports festival. And they both were like, "What? That's absurd. It's unconstitutional."
Well,
I will not allow it.
Usami was kind of like that. Rentaro was kind of like, huh. He's
like, whatever. I don't care. And I wasn't gonna go anyway, so I don't give a shit. You're right. Usami was very heartbroken by it. What? What do you mean I can't go?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rentaro's just chilling in the back. Fine with me.
Yeah. And they try to get Saku as a study buddy, but Saku's like, "Yo, I tried to help you guys last time and you guys fucking suck. I'm not doing it."
You guys fucking suck.
Which he was playing hard to get because he was willing to do it later on. It's just that he was understandably annoyed that he went through all those efforts and they still ended up failing anyways. But that leads them into trying to study for them by themselves, and that leads to a whole other different thing. One of the things is Rentaro texts Kaoru because his mom tells him, I haven't seen that fat midget in a long time. Can you invite her? We have discount day.
The one with the pot belly and just eats cake.
And he's like, all right. And he texts her and then she turns him down, says she's busy. And you kind of already know where this is going to go. As soon as they go to the library. So he goes to the library. And she's at the library studying for midterm exams. So yeah.
What are the odds?
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff that happens in between that, but basically that whole thing happens just to have these two meet at the library because Rentaro ends up being on the bench and then she comes over because she sees him after he does his like the worst stealth that you've seen.
He's just laying on a bench.
Well, no, I'm talking about before when he like was peeking around.
Oh,
I'm like, you were too tall for this.
Yeah, I mean, this man's like what? I want to say he's like 6 foot something, but in Japan, it's probably not 6 foot. He's probably like 5'7", which is tall.
Yeah, but, he's tall,
just peeking over,
and has bright hair. Like, everybody knows. Everybody will be able to spot you.
Yeah, it's not a good cover up. And then she's like, "I thought I heard you," as she comes up to him laying on a bench. Basically, even when he sits up and like is looking up at her, he's taller than her sitting down. She's so fucking tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we get a little sweet scene of them just getting to know one another. Get this, Satsuki. Kaoru ain't she's not rich.
I was wrong.
She's attending Kikyo on a scholarship.
Yeah.
But she's doing it to essentially like appease her dad, so to speak. So yeah.
Well, she talked about a lot how she's doing this because of her own pride, because she wanted to go to the school. So it's one of those things where she's like challenging herself. And I think the reason why that's important is because it kind of changes Rentaro's whole perspective of Kaoru. Because I think he saw her as like this sheltered princess type girl. And the more he finds out about her, the more he realizes that his whole perception of her is completely different. And he's doing the same thing that people do to him, which is look at how he looks. He looks like a delinquent and they probably think he's crass and rude and just not a good person. But he's been doing the same thing to Kaoru, even if it's not in the same like malicious manner that it's been done to him. He starts to open up about like, I kind of had you wrong. And yeah, he's becoming more open to the idea of who Kaoru is instead of trying to pigeonhole her in a box.
Yeah. Very sweet, very nice. Rentaro then asks Kaoru, "Please, all my friends don't want to help me. Please, oh please, oh please, can you help me study for these exams? I know you're busy and you're probably super, super smart and everything, but yeah, could you help me out?" And as soon as that happens, we get introduced to a brand new character who's, I guess, has naturally white hair. It's not dyed or anything, or is it dyed?
Yeah, and I think this is the character that they were talking about in episode 2. Remember the character that?
Oh, right. Don't let her know.
I'm not sure because I did not write her name down, so I didn't write her name down like previously. But she shows up and she is very overprotective of Kaoru. She sees her with a Chidori boy and she is steaming.
Oh, she gets pissed and she starts. Well, I love how Kaoru the whole time is just like, "But wait a minute, stop. Let me explain."
Nobody
Stop pulling me.
Nobody gives a fuck about what she has to say.
I know. And she just said, like, I was just waiting for her to just yell and say, "Will everybody stop it?" But no, she just was like, "Excuse me, could you please? I'm just trying to."
Yeah.
No. And yeah, she says some hurtful things, and then we get Rintaro's friends join the fight, and then it's just really really bad for everybody because then everybody says some harsh things. That one dude, I forget his name with the black hair.
Saku.
He was going for the jugular with her.
Yeah, he was. We saw some jabs here and there, but he just went like haymaker, 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 and he was really hitting her where it hurts. You could tell because at first it was kind of like some insults some generic ass insults, like you're stupid. But then he went for what you could tell that she was really insecure about, which is the color of her hair. I'm assuming the color of her hair is natural because I think what is going on with her character is that she's probably going through the same thing that Rintaro is going through as far as people having a perception of who she is, or of who he is because of, dyeing hair and stuff like that. So I'm thinking that maybe her hair is natural, but she's had a reputation of being delinquent or something of the sort, which has caused her turmoil. So when Saku makes fun of that, it really, you can see visually it fucked her up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and then when that happens, Rintaro gets involved, and it's just like, hey, chill. Everybody chill. This girl right here, Kaoru, she's, well, he wasn't full and wholeheartedly truthful, but he was basically saying, I saw her because she was a girl yesterday, and she was apologizing for what happened the other day. So that's what happened. Everything's good. We don't need to lash out at everybody. We can go about our ways. And even old Usami was just like, he bowed. He was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say and do it. And even they were like caught off by guard with that. It's just, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
So yeah. Everybody, like, this is typically something that we would see drag on for like 10 episodes when it comes to these damn things, but it was all resolved in like this scene. This whole episode.
Which all of it is not done just because we have characters like Saku and Subaru. I'm probably going to like alternate between Subaru and Hoshina referring to her. Because Saku didn't want to apologize because he's like, I don't give a fuck. She's still a Kikyo girl. And then, then Kaoru tried to get Hoshina to apologize, and she's like, she just runs away. So there's still animosity that I don't think is going to be solved immediately between these two groups.
No,
but at the very least, we know that we have mediators, and not only mediators, but people who are open-minded enough to listen. Because Usami might be a little rash, but at the end of the day, he has a good heart. So if he realizes that he's wrong in a situation, he's going to own up to it. And that's what he ends up doing with his apology to Kaoru. And we already know Kaoru is as sweet as she is, so she has no problem with quote unquote lowering herself to apologize to any one of the Chidori boys. So, you have people who are willing to listen, but we kind of gotta get Saku over on this side and get Hoshina over on this side. But what did you think about the way Hoshina was looking at Rintaro? What do you think that was all about?
I think, if anything, because she states that she hates men. She just can't stand them. She's just about them. But she was staring at him, and I was thinking maybe it's a different sort of feeling. It's where it's like she sees that he's different than most men. And by that, I mean, like, it seems like he's not a bad boy, and that it's just perception that he looks like a delinquent, and maybe it has something to do with just overall just the perception of that. And she's like, there's more to him than just looks, you know, like maybe deep down he's actually a nice guy. That's what I got from it.
The way I see it, it just goes back to the whole hair thing. I think she maybe is wondering how Rintaro's been navigating in his life, having to dye hair. But like you said, his personality not reflecting his looks, because I believe that she was probably bullied or mistreated the same way Rintaro has been because of her appearance. So she probably kind of maybe looks at him as a kindred spirit, or believes that they could be similar in a certain regard. Because she sees the way Kaoru looks at him, and she could tell that Kaoru is infatuated with him. So she's probably
She smiles.
She's like, why? What would make? Or she's probably thinking, if Kaoru's, you know, this happy around him, he probably is a good person. But I guess she can't believe it because of how he looks. But you know, it loops to the whole thing of people being mistreated and mistreating other people in the same way they were. You know, that whole cycle of like hurt people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you say the way that Hoshino looks at Rintaro, I feel like she looks at Kaoru a very different way, if you know what I mean.
My gaydar wasn't going off.
No, you don't think she feels that way about her?
I think she's like a super I think with her, she is super overprotective because Kaoru's maybe the only friend that she made. That's kind of like what I get from her. Okay. Where it's like again, it goes back to the whole bullying thing that I'm basically making up for her at this point because we don't know. But if that did happen to her, I could see, because in the same way Kaoru made Rintaro open up about who he is and kind of change his perspective, I think she did the same thing for Hoshino, where it's like she accepted me despite me looking like a foreigner, despite me looking like a delinquent, whatever people may have thought about her. She probably had a hard time fitting in with people, but then Kaoru's the one person who accepted her. So I think that's what's going on.
Okay. And my gaydar is terrible, by the way, so I could be very wrong about it. So it's just, we have that scene where she's looking at her photo of them together. Yeah. And she's looking at it, not like one of those where Wolverine's laying in bed and like touching the picture frame or anything, but she's looking at it. I think I was just like,
I feel that would have had more weight in that regard if it was a more recent picture, but it was like a childhood picture. So I don't think she was like looking at her longingly. I think she was more looking at her like, maybe she's even scared. Maybe it's one of those things where she's scared that she'll lose her friend to Rintaro. But I didn't get the romantic feeling with those two, or with like one-sided feelings. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll definitely see. We'll see how good my gaydar is. I'm batting 1,000, so I'm not gonna do good. I'm telling you.
We had the whole conversation between Rintaro and Kaoru at the end, where Rintaro doesn't want to be addressed by her formally, and he's kind of questioning where their relationship is because, Kaoru's like, "Oh yeah, you're that one cake guy," and he's like, "No, I want to be your friend."
I want to say I'm not just the cake guy. I'm the tall, delinquent-looking man that has a heart of gold.
I want to be your cake guy.
I want to be more than just the cake. I want to eat your cake. What?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I took that too far. Please address me formally.
Yeah. But
You don't have to call me Son. You could just call me by my name.
yeah. But it's just them furthering their relationship, getting more comfortable with each other because they're talking on the phone. So like it's one of those things, and this really taps into the whole teenage love thing where they're like super nervous. She's talking at a higher pitch. Rentaro's trying to play it cool, but you know, he's stressing, overthinking things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a point in the conversation where he literally just stops talking and she's like, "Are you still there?" So they really tap into that whole the angst of teenage love really good with that.
Yeah. She even says, I wonder if she could tell, or that he could tell I was smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
Like with my voice, and that's probably why her voice was higher, because she's just smiling the whole time she's talking.
Probably doing a whole bunch of random shit around the house. You know, we get on the calls, just like start walking around for no reason. Playing with stuff.
Like, are you listening? Yeah, I'm listening to you. Yeah, I'm listening. just keep talking. Sweet stuff. Guess we'll see what happens the next episode, and or will we? Because I forgot this is a Killer Pass episode.
Oh shit! Ooh. Well, I think I'll go first this time.
Okay.
This show thus far has been pretty refreshing in the sense that it doesn't seem that a lot of the complaints that I would normally have with a high school romance anime will come into fruition. And it's real simple thus far, but simple in a good way, where it just makes the show about the relationship between these two characters, and it doesn't let all these outside factors make it into something that it shouldn't be. You know, we talked about the whole love triangles, or you know, sometimes you'll have, I feel like in a show that was written by somebody that was a lot more generic, would probably have the friends be assholes to Kaoru or something. You'll have a conflict with the friends.
Yes.
You'll have a lot of those things to where it just feels like you're detracting from the relationship between these two characters. And I felt
she's from Kikyo girl.
Yeah.
Don't talk to her.
Yeah. And it just feels like that stuff just to pad or deter these two characters from getting together. And I feel, although there is drama that exists, the drama that exists with these two characters mostly centers around Rentaro's own insecurities. And I think that's fine, because I mean, that's something that's pretty, you know, true to life. You know, you could feel, you can't love someone until you love yourself. And I think that's the struggle Rentaro's going through. So thus far, it's been pretty true to the foundation of what you would want in a romance series. So I've been pleasantly surprised with it thus far, and I look forward to it. So I will pass it.
Yeah, I agree with your sentiment. I believe this is a solid first 3 episodes when it comes to romance. I definitely feel like there's a lot of things that hold romance back. You pretty much already said them. But yeah, it's usually always just the cliche stuff that we see. And I'm definitely curious to see what happens moving forward, because for all we know, hell, they could be, and I would like this, just have them start dating by like episode 5. I feel like I appreciate more romances that do that, because how many times have we seen those romances where they get together and then it's over? Almost every single one. It's just, that's the pattern when it comes to these damn things anymore. But to me, the more interesting aspect of relationships is the being with somebody.
Yeah.
Not the, does this person like me, or is this person into me? It's the, what are their likes? What are their dislikes? What's it like living with this person? What's it like getting to know this person? Like that's more interesting than the chase, so to speak.
Yeah, because I feel like the interest is a very easy thing to gauge. Like people date each other sometimes just based on, I like how this person looks. They seem like a cool person. They just date. And they find out then, are they really compatible with that person? Because you don't really know until you interact with them on a more intimate level. Because when you're not dating, it's kind of one of those things to where, like, I'm not saying people are fake necessarily, but you're in the courting stage. So you're not necessarily dropping your guard and being who you truly are. But when you date, those barriers come down and you can't really hide who you are. Thus, when you actually date, that's the real test. Not getting them to say yes to you on a date, is dating them and keeping that relationship.
Yeah. That's the more interesting aspect that I wish more romance animes would do. Not the catch, not the drive, not the try to, get to finally ask that person out. It's the, wow, this woman really is very open about her gas in front of me. or in the female's perspective, man, he really loves leaving the toilet seat up.
Yeah.
And not flushing. Just stuff like that. It's just more interesting to me just because like the dynamics of a relationship are more interesting than just the fairy tale getting together with them. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen with this series. I'm just I'm hoping, because romance definitely needs a recharge or reboot, so to speak, when it comes to just the genre. And I feel like we need more series that kind of like deviate from the norms and do something a little different. And so far, I'm liking what this series is doing. So it's a pass for me as well.
Yes. Well, put it on the pass screen and...
You pass this time.
All right. Good series thus far. But we are moving on to the next show tonight, which is none other than Tougen Anki, episode 2. Yeah.
All right. Oh.
What? Yeah, I take it this didn't really sizzle your bacon, so to speak.
Not really. I mean, this is very much generic. I'm just gonna lay it out there. The main character is driven by revenge and wants to get stronger and wants to fight so that he can get the person that killed his dad. How many times have we seen that? A dozen. At least a few dozen, if not more. And, this one, we're just like, okay, we have the revenge thing. Oh, I want to destroy. Ooh, get powerful. We also have the school setting. Okay, we're in a class. We're going to learn about all these quirks these guys can do. Oh, okay. And now we have this absolutely ridiculous setting of, we're going to play tag, and if you lose, you're expelled. Gee, I wonder if this guy is going to get expelled by episode 3.
I don't know. This show might have the balls to do it, EA. You never know.
I would love a series to do that, just to throw me off. They go, you're expelled. You can't come back here. What do you mean? Come back here whenever you do something important. They slam the door in his face. I would, if this series did that, I would have more respect for shows like that. And then it would just do something completely different. I don't know. Maybe a villain arc or something. But yeah, this was just basic Oh, my name's Levi, and I'm going to test and see how strong you are. Oh, no, no, minus 20 points because he's a quirky guy that works on efficiency, and eh, it's definitely not tickling my fancy. I wouldn't be surprised if the next episode were just, you know what I mean? Because I don't know. It's I don't know if you felt this way, but it feels very generic to me.
No, I understand what you're saying completely. I definitely agree. I think this show hasn't properly separated itself from other shows of its ilk. It is Battle Shonen anime number 956. It is pretty standard in everything that we've seen thus far, and it's almost amazing how much it hasn't separated itself yet. Like, I'm not asking for some shit I've never seen before. I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for you to do something a little different. Cause like you said, we have the whole revenge thing established from the very beginning, which is fine. I understand it. But then even the way you do the evaluation is pretty much what I've seen. Like, this is something I've seen in Bleach when Ichigo did his hollow training power. That's basically what I was thinking about when I saw it. And then we have the school, you know, the same setting that we usually see in these situations. And then we're in a forest playing tag, which that even isn't unique. That even isn't unique. I seen that in Naruto. Right.
It's the tuning exams, basically.
I'm just like, damn, it's kind of crazy how it's not doing anything unique. I feel like they quote unquote try by having Naito, the Levi looking guy, have roller skates to make him look more quirky and whatnot. But from the personality types that we've seen in this classroom, you know, just in a little interaction we had with them and Shiki and them and everybody else, it's not separating itself in a unique way. Not even like the powers that we see are unique, because although it's blood using the power, they basically use the blood to do anything they want. Like, he's using his blood to shoot bullets. So blood being a factor in it isn't even anything like worth. The power system is like whatever, because they essentially use their blood to put it in the shape of whatever they want, because he has this umbrella that he's using, and then he has these spikes. So the blood powers aren't unique in of itself either. It's just whatever they want to do with the blood. That's really it. So thus far, and we ain't gonna have much to talk about, thus far this series hasn't done much to make itself stand out. It feels very generic is the word.
Yeah, it really is. Trayvon, really quick, says, I want to see more adult romance anime. Same. Damn, on the nose, EA. Yeah. I mean, this series is pretty much just, I don't know. It's like I said, I'll be the first one to admit and say the reason I picked it was because of the boobs. And, you know, we saw the boobs for maybe 30 seconds in this episode, and I'm like, okay, she seems like the fighting type. Like, she's a brawler. You know, she seems like I'm a big boob fighter.
They're definitely going for the Nobara thing with her.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But even then, I feel like, and see, JJK separated itself from that because Nobara is a very unique character. Oh, poor Nobara. But yeah, she's definitely the Nobara badass girl. You know, look at me, I'm a brawler type. That's what she looks. And I feel like this episode is going to be nothing more than just showing off each person's power. That's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be, you know, guy with the mask, green hair, Shy Pink Girl, Brawler Big Boob, and whoever else was there, and what they can do with their blood types. That's it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's going to be this weird stipulation where Shiki makes it through, but oh, barely, and, he doesn't get expelled. None of them get expelled. In fact, you are all going on to the next round of the tuning exams. Just literally, oh my god. That's all this particular episode and series is. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if by this time Thursday we're like, well, Satsuki,
Yeah.
ready to pull the cord.
Yeah, we're going to make a decision on this show Thursday. That would be a killer pass, and it's looking like it's heading in that kill direction. Just going to be completely honest, because I almost have no faith in the next episode wowing me. And just to make things clear, this show's not bad. I don't think we're saying it's bad. It just feels very mediocre, and it's nothing that I don't think it's going to be anything that we are excited to talk about, because we're talking about any one of these shows, Dress Up Darling, which has been pretty strong this season, Sakamoto Days, like how crazy the fighting can be, and the wacky personalities we have. Dandadan is always going to have a lot to talk about. Kaoru Hana's been like a real resurgence for romance, high school romance. And in the summer, Hikaru died. We're going to talk about that later, but that's been a really great horror series. And that's the first time we had a great horror series on this fucking podcast. So, like, everything has something that we look forward to. And thus far, I don't think Tougen Anki has it. I hope I'm wrong with the next episode, but I don't think I'm going to be wrong.
I feel like the next episode is just going to be like the God of High School or whatever it was, where it just throws you for, a loop, and they have like a stand, and I don't know, it's it's just not going to be good. And I'm going to look at you and I'm going to go, what the fuck was that? This is not good. What is this? God of High School bullshit.
Yeah.
Man, that was a series that came and went as quickly as it it went as quickly as it came, because I don't think anyone talks about that.
Yeah. Well, I don't really got much to say. I mean, we pretty much covered everything that happened this episode.
Like I said, literally it's this. He was tied up. Oh, let's see how strong he is. Oh, let's test his powers. Oh, he barely scrapes by. He has potential. Let's bring him in. That's literally this episode. Oh, he's got potential. Here's all the other people. We're going to do test, tag. Here we go, fight. Literally this whole episode. That's all it was.
No. Well, until Thursday, we'll find out.
And yep, until Thursday. I want to see what happens. Maybe get a little more of the boob girl action. And if she doesn't impress me, then that for sure is no.
That's the thing. The fighting is going to have to knock it out of the park next episode.
For sure, we're going to have just crazy like Demon Slayer levels of fighting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on. With our last show of the night, we are talking The Summer Hikaru Died, episode 3.
Man.
This is a killer pass.
Yet another killer pass episode. And this is yet another crazy episode. Dealing with...
the hell happened to my nose? What the
Did you not put any?
There it is.
Uh-oh. Okay. Yep, there they are. Sweet. Okay, so... At the very beginning, we have a throwback, a flashback, so to speak, of Hikaru and oh my gosh, and Yoshiki just being little kids eating watermelon,
Mhm.
and I almost was transported back to being a kid myself because parents are just so mean. Like when it comes to just like kids eating watermelon, they accidentally eat a seed. Oh, watermelon's gonna grow inside you, and your stomach's gonna burst.
Yep.
I kid you not, I thought that for the longest time, and I was freaked out. And then when I ate a seed, I swear I was just like that Hikaru. I'm gonna die. But you know, they they only thought that because probably their parents told them, you're going to turn into a watermelon man. You're going to turn into this. And it's like, let's be honest with our kids. If they eat a seed, nothing's going to happen to them. Don't traumatize your kids just for your entertainment.
I did think that was funny how that like translated across cultures, because that was a thing that I knew too or heard about too. So
Why
I was
is
like,
that a thing?
yeah, I don't know.
Like, does parents just love to torture their kids?
across any nationality? Just like, hey, Japanese, American, it doesn't matter. We will torture our kids.
Yeah, poor kids. But that happened, and I think it was kind of like it led into what happened almost immediately after, because Yoshiki brought some watermelon, and he was talking to Hikaru, and he said the exact same words, but it was almost as if he had no emotion or like human like feelings behind them, where he's just like, I just ate a seed.
Yeah,
I'm going to turn into Watermelon Man.
It's a really great way that they did it. Just the feeling of it, because they don't have to tell you. He doesn't have to have any like inner dialogue for you to understand what they're trying to convey with that scene. Because, like you said, it feels like it's like soulless, like it's rehearsed, like, and which it is, because he's drawn from his memories, so he's able to mimic him, and it feels like he's mimicking him. It doesn't feel like a genuine thing that he would say, because we know he's already said that before. So he's just, again, Yoshiki just goes like, you said that before, I know. So yeah, for Hikaru, or this monster in Hikaru's body, it's becoming more and more apparent that Yoshiki can't hide his feelings of like disgust with pretending that he is Hikaru.
Yeah, he's I think it's a mixture of two things. One, he had this random woman came up to him and said, I know I know what you've been with, a disgusting monster. I know what you are. You better get away from that thing, or else you're going to become it. And then the other part is, of course, it's probably finally starting to get to him. This person acts like my friend, but he's not my friend. He's a shell of what my friend used to be. And it's sad, because he's essentially going through this grieving process of, he had a friend and now his friend's gone, but he doesn't want to lose his friend. So essentially he has this monster thing that is like his friend, but it's not. And it's just depressing and sad. And, he's ready to kind of like move on, so to speak. And yes, the very next scene, he texts that girl because he's like, yes, I want to meet up. I want to talk about this. And then he just decides the smart idea. Well, leaves it on the table and just walks away so that Hikaru can see it. And I'm thinking, who does that? Especially if you are trying to hide something from somebody, especially a fucking monster in front of you.
Yeah, one would probably be a little more careful.
But he's just like nonchalantly just like, so when can we meet up, girl? I just gotta talk about this crazy monster and everything. Leaves on the phone or leaves on the table, walks away, does the dishes, works out a little bit. Freaking text comes back on the phone, and Hikaru picks it up, and it's just like, who's this bitch?
Yeah, might as well just named her like Hikaru Killer or something.
Yeah, and I don't know. That was probably the one thing that annoyed me about that whole episode. But then again, I remembered, yes, he's a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
He's stupid. He's not thinking. And also maybe he's probably in the not right headspace either because of just everything that's been going on. So, but I don't know. Just coming off of that, I think I would have been like, pocket that in my, put it in my pocket and walk away.
Yeah,
not leave it on the table for him to see.
Yeah, and he ends up meeting with the woman he texts, Rie, who we come to find out she's been through something very similar with her husband, and also Yoshiki just tells her everything, which goes to show you how much this has been eating at him for him to confide in a complete stranger. So, and once he does that, you could tell it lifted a weight off of him. He was still, grieving about everything. But yeah, Rie's been through something similar with her husband, who, because we see the mark from her ring, her wedding band, that's gone from her finger. And she talks about how we don't know exactly the circumstances, but she talks how her husband had hurt their kid, and that's from what she was talking, they're not dealing with that issue anymore. So I'm assuming the husband is dead, was killed, and she's
probably a monster too.
Yeah, and she's basically telling Yoshiki, you need to cut ties with them. You need to do exactly what I did, because mixing with them, getting attached is the wrong thing to do. And spoilers, he didn't listen.
Stupid teenager. Oh, I understand. He's hurting. He's definitely like grieving. But God, does he need to learn to listen to adults sometimes?
Yeah.
That's why I encourage a bunch of teenagers to do. It's like, yeah, I understand we all are adults and you hate us and you think that we're old and stupid, but trust me, we know things sometimes.
We were kids too. Kinda.
Fucking A. That's what I tell my son. I was once in your same shoes. Trust me, I know what it's like. Believe me.
Yeah.
But, you tell anyone that and they just look at you like you're crazy. You were once a teenager? You mean you used to be cool? Oh, no, you're always lame.
I thought it was a funny part of the episode where even she's kind of surprised that this relationship is seemingly like in a boys love direction, because she was like, oh, the way you're talking about this person or the way it was going, I thought this was a girl. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So
he did say that.
Yeah. Like they're being very on the nose about it, I feel. Especially like what we got at the end, because that was like really, really wow. Like he just went full yandere. But after he talks with Rie, that's when all hell breaks loose, because Yoshiki's depressed. He wants to be left alone. He doesn't want to see Hikaru, because probably at that point, he already made a decision to contact Rie, so he's trying to cut ties he's not trying to deal with it anymore. But here comes Hikaru, and here comes the face of his friend, and it becomes harder and harder for him to just completely separate the two. And that's kind of what's going on with Hikaru, because we see like there's this inner turmoil within himself where he doesn't know what his real emotions are. He doesn't know like what's his and what's Hikaru's, because they're blended since he took over his body. And that's kind of like where his love for Yoshiki comes in, because that's something that Hikaru felt. So that's why he's so not only is what is the name of it? Nonuki. Not only is Nonuki naturally lonely, but because of Hikaru, like the real Hikaru's feelings for Yoshiki, I think is amplifying into a toxic dynamic between the two, where Nonuki doesn't want to be left alone, so it'll attach, or it'll like hyper focus on someone, and try to be attached to the hip to them. Because even the friends are noticing, like, God damn, are you his daddy or something? Why is he following you around like that?
Yeah. Everybody in the school was like, they say you guys seem really close lately. He's just like a lost puppy, and he just like harkened back to it, and he's just like, damn. Yeah. I guess it's true.
Yeah.
That scene was weird. Yeah, he did go full yandere, and then he went on top of him and poured his monster juice on him.
Please rephrase that.
Okay, let me rephrase that. There was a scene where there was a struggle, and he did go full yandere, but Nanuki was on top of Yoshiki, and because Nonoki's a monster at everything, it was just seeping out of him, and it was spilling on top of Yoshiki as well. And I don't know what that entails, or if that means that there's going to be like this weird monster thing, sex, boys love thing that's happening, because when it was happening, Yoshiki was like, oh, this feels weird. Feel good? I think it feels good. And then, this was one of the words too, by the way, I'm not making this up. He's coming inside me. And I went, okay, show, I know what you're trying to do.
It's not even what they're trying to do, it's what they're doing.
Right. Let me rephrase that. Okay, show, we get it. They love each other, and you're making it very, very much of that. But then after that, Yoshiki goes and apologizes to Hikaru, and they have a thing. And what do you know? Yoshiki doesn't listen to what an adult says and decides to do a I don't know. He thinks this is the 80s, and he's gonna like keep a monster in his room like E.T. or something, and goes, I'm just gonna teach him the ways of how to This monster has killed somebody already. But, let's go ahead and let's teach it the ways.
But the monster said he didn't know anything about that person. You don't believe him?
I mean, he said that, but I almost feel like Yoshiki knows it's not true.
I mean, yeah, he
even though
does.
Even though it wasn't said in that way, I'm pretty sure he knows. All of a sudden, everything is just getting crazy. We get long neck swinging monsters and this crazy granny. Yeah, I see you. You're a demon. Is just now dead the next day after he said that you're a demon to Hikaru. Nah, I don't think so. I definitely think he knows. And at this point, it's becoming sad because it's just he doesn't want to lose a friend, even though he's lost a friend. Like, that friend is gone, and I don't know if he's doing this because just like the monster said, like I have Hikaru's feelings and I have mine or whatever mixed up in there. Maybe he's delusional and he thinks, oh well, he's still in there somehow. Maybe I can get him back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think this is gonna end up being worse before it gets any better. Some more people are gonna die. You know, I could see this being one of those things where if people get too close to Yoshiki, maybe Hikaru will kill them or do something to them. You know what I mean? Because we didn't even touch on that weird not necromancer, the spirit dude with the guinea pig.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't show up in this episode once, but I definitely feel like he's going to contribute a big part in this series, and they're probably going to have a standoff in one episode, I'm sure.
What is good, Lightning Eagle?
Lightning, hey Ellie, how you doing? Look, Ellie.
I'll say, yeah. Yoshiki he's being naive because he thinks he can salvage the situation. He's not nipping it in the bud, which that's why Rie came to him, because knowing the possibility of him going through the same thing that she went through, she already understands that it will be hard for him to cut ties. So she's trying to get to him early before things before things escalate to the point of no return, before, I don't know, maybe he even starts killing people in his name. And I mean Yoshiki. I feel Yoshiki might actually start killing people or try to protect them in some way if they get too intertwined, because it's going to be one of those things to where the line between who Hikaru is and who Nonuki is gets blurred. He's going to start to see them as the same person. He's made it a point to say I separate the two, but at some point, even if you develop a relationship with Nonuki as his own entity, you're still always going to see your friend in him. So that is not something that you can separate. You can still say in your head they're different people, but because you're seeing your friend, I think those lingering feelings for your friend will always be placed onto Nonuki, no matter how much he tries to deny that. So it's just one of these things where you can already see how bad it can get and how bad it will get based on that decision. It's like one of those, you play a visual novel, you make one decision, you already know it's about to be a bad ending.
Shit. Damn it, I didn't mean to. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because he looks just like Hikaru. I think that's the biggest thing that's hard. You know, oh yeah, I separate him. Easy for you to say he looks just like your dead friend. I mean, if he looked like a completely different person, I'd say that would be different, but that's going to be really hard.
The memories play, I feel, an even bigger part, because it's like he is Hikaru in a sense. You know, if someone had your memories, like all your memories, they are that person now, because he knows all of what you experienced with the other person, you know, and then paired with his face, it's like the only thing that really separates the two is the emotion of it, is the feeling that he doesn't seem the same as my friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But everything else, it's like Hikaru. I mean, nobody even knows that Hikaru's not, or nobody knows that Hikaru's actually dead, with the exception of Yoshiki and now Rie.
Yeah. I'm definitely curious to see what happens now. It's definitely gonna, like I said before, gonna get worse before it gets any better. I don't see this ending well for anybody. This is something that, you know, they're both gonna have to learn the hard way, that you can't be a monster living in this town, and you can't have a monster living in this town because a bunch of weird shit's gonna start happening, and yeah, it's more of those long neck monsters are gonna be coming your way. More stuff feeling like raw chicken is gonna happen. Yeah, just nah. End it now.
I'm very afraid for the friends because I feel like that might be the dominoes that like lead to things really getting out of hand, because we already know with one of the girls, Asako, she seemingly has an ability to, I guess, divinate where spirits are, like something of the sort, to where she can identify these evil entities. So I feel there may be a point where maybe this power gets stronger, because it seems to be something that is very unique to this village, where we see a lot of people with supernatural abilities, where like the old lady that Nonuki ended up killing was able to tell, you're a monster. Cats, animals, you're a monster. Rie experienced some of this. She doesn't really have anything supernatural, but I feel that she may develop that power to the detriment of herself, because if she's able to identify who Hikaru really is, I feel like that's going to put Yoshiki and Hikaru in a bad situation, because Yoshiki's going to be desperate to probably protect them, because he's now made it the decision, I'm going to treat him like Majin Buu. He just doesn't know any better. So
meet you up.
Yeah.
And then he ate up the old lady. Boo, we don't do that. That's a bad boo.
I mean, he did heal that one dog, so.
Yeah, he did. And then those random group of guys doomed us all. Doomed the entire Earth just because they were bored and wanted to have fun. Hey, let's go out here, mate. We're going to go ahead and kill this fucking thing.
It was so random.
Like, how'd they find this thing that was in the middle of nowhere?
They just so happened to be like fucking. Didn't one of them have like a, what was it? Was it a rifle or a sniper?
One had a sniper, the other had a machine gun. They both were packing these ridiculous guns, and thus turning regular Boo into, I guess, like evil Boo, which was skinnier and more in shape.
Mm-hmm.
And then they regretted that deeply whenever the guy got ingested with Boo until he exploded. Jesus Christ. I remember seeing that young going, oh, that's pretty graphic.
Yeah. But yeah, this show I think it's been really great in the horror department. Not only does this show look good, it's just, I think, a good story thus far. Like, you just feel the dread coming through. It just, the way it looks, the way it feels, it does just feel like a horror manga that translated well into an anime. Because I've said it before, there's a couple of good horror manga I've read, now that I've read a lot, but I can't really tell you much horror anime that I like other than Higurashi. And
yeah, that's a good one.
This is giving me those feelings of Higurashi, in a sense that we have like this really creepy village where there's a lot of mystery and intrigue that lurks in the shadows. And I think this anime thus far has been conveying all of the good things that you would want in a horror anime to life. So
yeah, they're doing a fantastic job with it. I'm curious, like the mystery and the intrigue is there. Like, it has me wanting to know what happens next. And yeah, I'm gonna pass this because it's, like I said, the mystery and the intrigue is there, and I'm just like, okay, where's this gonna go? And it definitely, like, these series, like, I feel like either have really good endings or really bad ones, and I hope it doesn't have a bad one. I hope it's not one of those where they just do these things just to do it. But I don't, well, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those contrived endings where it's like, oh, run out to the forest, monster. They're gonna come after you, and it's a pitchfork and and like torches, and they're going after it. I don't know. I have a feeling they'll do better than that, but I'm liking it.
Yeah. Well, we are at the end for all the anime we're talking about, but we do have viewer questions.
Yeah, viewer questions. Okay.
You want to trade off?
Yeah, I'll read the first one, then we could trade off. We got 4 questions tonight. Now, the first question. Would you rather be stuck on a deserted island alone with chibi reviews for 1 year, or stuck in the island with unlimited food, but you can only eat after watching 1 episode of Toradora? Gee, I wonder whose question this is.
Welcome back, Light Ruler.
Yeah, nice seeing you again. But I don't know. Is Chibi Reviews that bad of a person? I don't know him personally. I mean, I look at it like this: we'll both be chilling on the island.
even if he wasn't, I feel like this one is easy because it says the first one is a deserted island. So I don't know what the fuck is going to be on that island. Even if I'm with anybody that's good, I could be on this could be, you could rephrase this to be deserted island with EA. I'm still not choosing that because the other one, I have unlimited food and all I had to do is watch an episode of Toradora. What?
Yeah. I mean, he's just basically wanting us to say that we would watch Toradora.
Yeah.
If we had food. So unlimited food, but you can only eat after watching 1 episode. And that's all I have to watch is 1 stinking episode. If I'm going to watch 1 episode, I'll watch the one that I like the most and then just call it a day.
Yeah.
And eat.
Easy decision. Next question. Could KOA take on a bloodlusted rhino-pilled Mr. Beast on a death match? Or in a death match, I'm assuming.
Bloodlusted rhino-pilled Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
What's rhino-pilled?
Those sex pills.
Oh, a dude with an erection? Is that what it's talking? A bloodlusted, big-dicked Mr. Beast?
Yes. Could we take him in a death match?
Well, it's saying KOA.
Yeah.
It's 3 against 1. I think we could take him.
He's bloodlusted, though, yeah.
Well, you know what? He's bloodlusted, but I also have a shotgun that I use for my lollies.
How tall is Mr. Beast? Like, what is the weight class we're working with?
I am curious to know.
He's
that
6'5"?
Well. Is he that tall?
I did not know he was that tall. He does not look like it. This is fake.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he could whoop anybody's ass either. So, I mean, yeah, I think we could take him.
Yeah.
Just go for the balls.
Yeah, one person grab a leg, another person grab his leg, another.
Yeah. You break his legs, what's he going to do? Crawl to us? Okay. Go for his spine. He won't be able to move.
Yeah, I think KOA can take a bloodlusted rhino pill, Mr. Beast. But that just may be our own hubris talking.
Right. We'll never know because Mr. Beast doesn't know we exist, so that's fine.
He probably would set that up.
I mean, the dude's got the money to do so. He'd put us on a deserted island and just like, the first one to get this is a millionaire or something. Whatever.
I want to see if these podcasters could kill me when I'm at my best.
Oh my God. Which is the best podcaster out there? Come find out. All right. Next question. They say if your girl likes Hello Kitty, that's a red flag. What's the male equivalent to that? Is that really a thing?
I don't know.
Where girls like Hello Kitty and that's a red flag?
Being a
What's the male
Cowboys fan.
Oh my. Yes. Be a Cowboys fan or a Lakers fan. Fuck it, a Yankees fan. Just pick any sport and go for the ones that they love the most. Be a Dodgers fan. But let me think. No, that is a good answer though. Male equivalent to liking Hello Kitty. It definitely has to be some sort of like snotty sports fan, but Cowboys is a pretty good answer, so I'm not gonna argue with that.
Okay. The last question we have is, which anime would Sonic the Hedgehog be great? Well, would be a great addition to? So, what anime would Sonic add to the story or be good with the story?
He'd be great in Pokemon. He would fit right in.
Yeah.
He would look just like all the other creatures, except he would talk. Gotta go fast.
Yeah, he could be like a legendary. I could see that.
Yeah, especially when he goes supersonic and he's all gold and stuff. Oh my God, it's the rare supersonic. Go Pokeball.
Which anime? What's another anime that has like? He could be in like Fairy Tail or something. I could see that.
Doesn't Sonic already have an anime too, like Sonic X?
Probably. I never watched it.
I never watched it either. I just know it's a thing. C Tactics has that soundbite. Put those grippers away.
Yeah. Shit. Oh yeah, Fairy Tail. That's what I said.
All right.
I think Fairy Tail
and Pokemon for me.
Yeah. Well, that is all the questions that we received. If you want to submit your own questions for us to answer this Thursday, because if you're not in the know, we will have our podcast this Thursday again, where we'll talk about the episodes we did not cover. So yeah, we're going to have another full house. We just didn't want to have to cover everything in this podcast. So if you have any questions to submit, you can always look at the description. We have a Google Docs right there. Click it, ask the question. We will write it down in our notes and we will answer it next podcast this Thursday. So
that's right. I dropped in the link the Blue Sky KOA podcast. If you were following that, you would have known that we weren't going live last Thursday and that we were going to be doing this today and also Thursday. So that's a plus for having a Blue Sky and following us. And also, you just know when we go on. That's a plus right there. We have a Patreon I dropped in there as well. We talk about all kinds of stuff that you can't find anywhere else on YouTube, and it's only $1 stinking to support us. One. There's no tiers. There's no anything else. It's only $1.
No tears, only smiles.
Only the smiles, because we talk about all kinds of fun stuff. Everything from SpongeBob to Pokemon to drunken drunken stories and Watamote and etc. That's just to name a few, because there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we talk about as well. So check out those links. Subscribe to us if you're new, and we will see you on Thursday. Satsuki, shout yourself out.
I am Satsuki the Savage. You can find me on my YouTube, Satsuki the Savage, as well as my Twitch, Satsuki the Savage. That's with a D-A, not a T-H-E. I stream pretty much Wednesday, Friday, and both days of the weekend. And I play a plethora of games. I finished Elden Ring last week, the DLC.
Nice.
Finished Somnia Files, Nirvana Initiative.
Oh my God. that ending.
Maybe it finished me. I don't know. Time will tell. But and I'm playing God of War, and like I said, a whole bunch of other. I started Sekiro, One Fateful Night. So I'm into it. I got my hands in a lot of pies, so to speak. And YouTube. Probably my next video is going to be covering Kakaguri, the latest chapters, because we finally ended we're finally at a good stopping point, I should say, without spoiling. But yeah, that's where you can find me. But what about yourself, EA?
Oh me. Oh my. Yeah, you can find me over at my channel, Everything Animated. I need to get myself back into this just because I saw Sasuke post a video and he got 33,000 views on it with his wonderful Ubel video. And I was like, you know what? If he could do it, I could do it too. I just kind of got to find something. It's all about finding your audience, so to speak. And it has been years. It's been 84 years. But I need to get my ass back into it. And yeah, so subscribe to me on my channel. It's Everything Animated. I have a whole plethora of different anime videos that I did way back in the day. It goes all the way back to like 2014, back when I looked a whole lot younger. And you know, they're there. They're not necessarily my best, and I can definitely do better now. I just need to, like I said, just commit to it. Do what Sasuke did. But I just need to do it for myself. So yeah, catch me there, and you'll be surprised. Maybe you'll see something. Because I will admit, there is a movie that I've seen recently, twice now, that I would probably do a review on. And I'll tell you what it is. It's K-pop Demon Hunters. And I love that movie. I don't know. Have you seen that movie, Sasuke?
No.
Have you heard about it?
I have not even heard about it, no.
And see, that's the thing, is that I feel like this is something that people haven't heard about. It definitely is traveling through word of mouth. It's on Netflix. It's one of those, when you hear it, you go, K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah, okay, this stupid fucking thing. Satsuki, not only is it a great story, not only does it actually have really good music that I have on my Spotify playlist now because of how good it is, but it's probably the best animated film of the year so far.
Okay.
It's that fucking good. So, yeah, if there was a video to do one on, it would probably be K-pop Demon Hunters. So, yeah, I'll give that a look-see-loo. But other than that, like, share, subscribe, comment, and all that wonderful jazz.
Yep. And we hope to see y'all this Thursday, where we'll have another round of these episodes to talk about. Again, another full house, but maybe not so full next week or this Thursday. We'll see.
We'll see.
But catch y'all. Y'all have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace and love from the KOA family. We out.
Later.